I opened an LLC this year, so I shouldn't have to pay any taxes, right? No. Oh, I wish I had a nickel for every time someone told me that they opened an LLC and now they're expecting their taxes to drop dramatically. It is a myth. It is not true. It can be, but it requires a lot of planning throughout the tax year, not when you're filing, but planning throughout the tax year and making sure that you're doing all the things you need to do to be maximizing the options that you have as a business owner to reduce your tax liability. But you can't roll in tax day to your tax preparer and say, I open an LLC, where are my deductions? That's not what that is meant to do. So I want to dispel the LLC myth that I hear every year. It is not true. So, what do you need to know? An LLC basically is protection from a sort of a legal standpoint of your business. It creates kind of a separation of entities between you, the business owner, and the business itself. It is a protection. It is not a tax break. So that's myth number one. The next myth is that I'm going to pay significantly less in taxes because I've opened that LLC. That also is not true. Opening an LLC in itself does not save you money. Opening an LLC, what it does is creates a business entity. So if you already were a sole proprietor, if you move to an LLC entity, you basically have the same opportunity to deduct taxes. But what you should be doing is working with your tax advisor, like I work with my business owners, to figure out the best option for you to make sure you're taking steps during the tax year, not when the taxes are due, but during your taxable year, to make sure you're making the right plan, that you're keeping good records, that you are buying equipment and things when you need to, that you are tracking your mileage. If you're using a home office, that you're doing the right things for that, that you're compliant, my favorite word, in having that home office deduction. If you're having employees, that you're maximizing the credits that come from having employees, new or old, all those things. Those are things that a tax advisor does. A tax preparer takes all your information and prepares the things. So if you do have an LLC, make sure you also have a tax advisor. Okay, different things. The final myth, kind of along the same lines with an LLC, is that now that I have it, like I mentioned, that I'm saving money. But why I'm repeating this myth is that you have to understand that as this new entity, as this new sort of corporation, there are new, here's my word, compliance requirements that you have to make. So certain states require you to register and to fill out this annual reporting type thing with the state. I'm in California, so Secretary of State, you have to file compliance documentation. That costs money. In California, we have a minimum tax that you're required to pay. It is $800, regardless of how much money you're making. That costs money. Texas also has a separate filing you have to do. I think it's due in May when you have an LLC. That's going to cost money. So you have to understand that the rules are a little bit different, because now, as this entity, you have separate filings that you have to be responsible for. And penalties for not doing them are pretty severe. And also that extra outlay of payment. We're not even talking about tax due. That's just minimum tax in our state that's paid to that. So you do need to understand that. So while yes, you can save money, but now you have this extra expense that you may not even understand that you have. So that's kind of the thing that I just like to make clear when it comes to an LLC. There is an opportunity in any business structure that you're in to minimize your tax due. There is an opportunity in any business structure you're in to do planning and advising, and you should be doing it if you have a business. I don't know why you wouldn't. But just understand that in and of itself, just having and holding an LLC does not save you money. There are other things that have to happen. So I hope this dispels a few myths. You've learned a couple things. And you won't just tell your tax preparer next time that you've opened an LLC and now you're saving taxes, because that's, as we've mentioned, that's a year-long process, not a tax day process.